Hi everyone, Natasha here and around my home today. I am in the kitchen to share with you my September bullet journal setup here in my Minimalism Art journal. These are a few of the supplies that I used, and I'll be sure to list everything in the description box down below. And I also have the been thinking about Jordan Essentials here. I have the Boho Berry Box subscription, so this is one of the pages that came in it for September, and as you can see, I've used quite a bit of this page, and I also use the habit tracker as well. And this is actually a cute washi tape that came, I think, in September 2018 in the Boho Berry Box. I remember this was an exclusive one, so you can see that was just a cute washi that I got back out because I thought, oh yeah, definitely ready for some leaves and acorns again for the fall. So let me find a spot where that's not going to roll. And there it goes. Okay, so let me just slide these over a little bit and then I'll kind of show you where we're at. So I sell Jordan Essentials products, and I went to our annual convention in July. So this was just a cute little sticker from that convention that I like having on there as just a reminder of all the wonderful things I learned and the good experiences I had, and kind of making the most out of every day. And if you've seen some of my other, or if you saw last month's bullet journal setup video, then you know I'm having some trouble with this Minimalism Art journal. It is, this last cover here has, basically it sticks, but then if I get it back out again, like you can see my ribbons have gotten loose now, and then this periodically will like shift around because it's, that glue is kind of given way. So anyway, that's the only complaint I have mainly about this notebook, is that it's done that. Also, it's really heavy. I've actually stopped carrying it around with me all the time, and I just have a little mini notebook I'm carrying with me because it's just gotten really cumbersome. So I think for next quarter, I'll probably be switching back to a Leuchtturm, but that's for another video. So let's get into my September layout. So as you know, back in August, I decided I really wanted to just simplify. The summer has been busy. I've had a harder time keeping up with routines and just finding time for things. So I'm really trying to streamline. I did a little bit of decoration and kind of used that washi tape for some inspiration here, but and practicing my brush lettering, it's okay. It's not the best, but I've done worse. So I guess that's practice and progress forward. So anyway, I just keep it very simple. I've decided to fill the whole 2-page spread as much as I can. The nice thing about this journal is there are more dots per page, and they're a little bit closer together, so that allows the spread to work out nicely. So I do have the light gray numbers on each month, or each day, are my personal day numbers. If you follow along, you know I use the Louise Hay system from her book Colors and Numbers for that. And then I use the Fly Lady system to keep up with housework and just general cleaning and maintenance tasks around the home. So these zones are reminders for myself that each of these weeks, that's the zone I'll be working on. So let's see if I can remember how I have them. Zone 1 is the entry and dining room, which that's how the Fly Lady does it. Zone 2 is your kitchen. That's how I do it as well. Zone 3 and Zone 4, I have flip-flopped from how the Fly Lady has it. So I put my master bedroom in Zone 3 instead of Zone 4 because I like putting myself first and taking care of my space a little bit sooner in the month. And then Zone 4 is your second bedroom, your children's bedroom, your guest bedroom. So I put that as the 4th week, and I don't know, it's not as high. To me, I think that my room should be a higher priority than my daughter's room. So, and then the 5th week, and usually the 1st and the 5th week are chopped up because of how our months will fall. So the 5th week this month only has 2 days, but that's okay. Zone 5 for me is the living room, and if there's time, some of the basement or the extra room. So 2 days in that zone is just fine. I also added the moon phases here, the full and the new moon, just as a kind of a reminder. It seemed like this month in August, a lot of just different things were happening around the full moon, and I remember someone even commenting, oh, it's a full moon, that's why such and such is happening. And I thought, I want to put that back in my calendar because it's just kind of interesting to keep an eye on that and see how things fall into place around that, or they don't, it just depends. But all right, so I have my monthly layout. I've added Labor Day for us here in the US, and other than that, I'll just go through and put in any known appointments. I usually also put recurring tasks. So our trash gets picked up on Mondays, obviously not on Labor Day, so I'll have to remember to change that. So I put the note on the day that I need to take the trash out, which is the night before. So I usually have just a little bullet mark and trash written here on Sundays, and then obviously I'll do that for Monday, Labor Day. And then our recycling gets picked up Wednesday morning, so on Tuesdays is when I usually have my recycling task item listed. And then we go to my monthly pages. So I really like having this personal month page. Again, this is from that Louise Hay book, Colors and Numbers. So you have to go through and work out your own personal month number. So for me, it's the 11 or 2 month, and it's very interesting how these just concepts kind of seem to play out in how I'm feeling going into the month, and then how the month goes for me. So that's always interesting to have that in there. I don't refer to it often, but maybe once or twice as the month is going through, I'll look back and read through it, and it's always interesting to see that. Then I have this page here, which will be for my the left-hand side, and then this bottom box for feeling. These are just little highlights and tidbits of the month as kind of a short recap, and then the top 4 boxes on the right column are my goals for the month. And I'm going to be real honest, last month for August, I never filled out any goals. I think it was just, I don't know, just trying to kind of get through. I was trying to keep in mind that it's summer and enjoy time with my daughter and my family and sort of keep things more low key. But it feels good now to be back in some routine with school and just heading into the fall where our family business gets busier, and I feel like I definitely need some time to plan and get things set and have my head straight as we're going into September. So I will be filling this out this time around. I know that I will. Same thing with my gratitude page in August. I think I only filled out 2 or 3 days, which is terrible because gratitude is so important and it always makes me feel better. But my morning routine just has kind of been all over the place because I've had different little projects and side jobs I've taken on that have all taken precedence over getting my more, miracle morning time in. So anyway, September will be different. So I have my gratitude page set up. This was a nice quote that was on this sticker page from the Boho Berry box. So I put that there. And then her September habit tracker, I didn't use my habit tracker at all in August. September hopefully will be different. Part of why I didn't use it is because I never set it up, and I need to decide if I'm just going to do my miracle morning things here, if I'm going to use it for some of my like social media tracking or reminders. That's where I think I'm sort of on the fence and haven't decided, so that kept me from doing anything. So it's time to decide or figure it out or just pick one and go for it. So because it does help me to have this. I have mentioned this before. I do like keeping this for more personal growth things and not just for household cleaning tasks and chores, because I want it to feel like it's a positive space that encourages me, and chores just have to be done, but they're not something that's like personal growth related. So I'll show you where those go in a minute. And here we have my weekly layout. So I do the days down. I start with Sunday. I have my personal day listed again, just as a little reminder that that's what the theme of that day will be. And that also tells me what color I will be wearing that day, because I have those pretty well memorized now. Then the right-hand side will be all of my, so these are all of my more just household maintenance and upkeep and chores, cleaning tasks, that kind of thing. So that goes down here, and I like having this set up. The left-hand, these 2 columns are my daily items. So these are things I either hope to do every day, or they just get done more than once a week. Load of laundry, I do probably 4 to 5 loads in a week. So I may not necessarily have something on every box, but I'll have a lot more than I want to just have listed here. Things, and same thing with my daughter's bath. It'll be, 2 to 3 times a week. So I just do this more to keep track of when was the last time we had a bath. It's funny how that seems hard to remember some days. And I do have some of my social media tracking here, so that's why I'm not sure if I really need it also on the Miracle Morning page or the Habit Tracker page, and maybe that really just needs to be me breaking down my different savers tasks from the Miracle Morning. That's actually probably just answered my own thought process there. That's what I should do, is just keep it to that. So, and then these weekly tasks are things that need to be done just once that week, and it doesn't matter what day I do them. So that's why I like having this list here, because it just reminds me, don't forget to do it at some point this week. Now I do have some daily routines sort of in place for myself that they just work, so I keep doing them. So our sheets I typically do on Monday. So my load of laundry for Monday, I usually write an S for sheets. Towels I usually do on Tuesday, so that would be a T for towels. And that is also a trigger for me when I put the towels in the laundry, that I make sure I do a good swish and swipe of that bathroom. So I don't always do a swish and swipe every day. I usually do one in each bathroom at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, but I've just decided I have a lot more that I'm keeping up with, and it's not getting that bad. It's just 3 of us using the house mostly, and that's enough, and it's fine. And we keep the counters wiped down, and there usually aren't any toothpaste splatters or things like that anyway, so it's really just that deep clean that needs to happen at least once a week. My daughter still has her blankie, so I try to make sure that gets washed at least once a week. And then my cleaning rags don't even always get washed once a week, because I use the Fly Lady microfiber cleaning rags. They're amazing. I've had them for over 10 years. They still look great. I have one that went through the garbage disposal and still works great, and has just a few spots where it kind of looks like something chewed on it, but it didn't get big holes or anything like that. So I just wait till I have a full load. It's usually every other week, but I like to have it there just to remind me, because I keep that basket of those cleaning rags in the basement and I don't see it very often. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. I am using the STEP program, so I may do another video if you guys are curious about that, or you can just Google it and find it. The company that has put this out is called Learn, Do, Become. I highly recommend it. I've been slow to get going in it because the summer's just been kind of all over the place, but that's one of my goals for September, is to get back into doing at least a 10-minute micro burst, they call it, where you just spend 10 minutes and work on it and get something done. It's given me a lot of peace of mind, and I feel like it's pulling together all the loose ends that I've never quite figured out how to keep track of or how to deal with, and giving me some solutions for those. So that's why I'm really excited about it and happy with it. And I definitely want to keep going. And then one of the things they have in their system is to make sure you do a weekly review, where you just wrap up any loose ends, look at your projects, look at your tasks, look at, your different elements like your errands, your contacts, your different, emails, phone calls, tasks that need to be done, and just make sure you're dealing with it, what's current, and then moving forward, what needs to be continuing, on your list, and then taking off what doesn't. So again, it's just another good way to help keep my brain a little bit more organized and feel less chaotic. So, and then I go through and I've set up, I went ahead and set up the first 7 days of September. These day stickers were on that boho berry sheet, as well as these to-do stickers. So I just went ahead and did it, because what I have found, let me back up. The month of August, I thought I'm going to try and do it more like the traditional bullet journal method, where you just list, you start with like Monday and you go through, and when you're done with Monday, then you list Tuesday and you go through. And so you're not laying things out ahead of time. And I was trying to do that to keep things simple, to make it feel like less work to use my journal or my planner. But what I found is I didn't get it done at all, and then I felt like I didn't know where to put things because I didn't have the day set up, and then there would be multiple days in a row where I just never even went in here, and then I was forgetting things and missing things. So that made me realize I think I really need something that's set up more like a planner, where I at least have a place to put everything each day, because otherwise I forget and I don't go in here and do it daily. Now maybe if I get back into my Miracle Morning routine, that won't be such an issue, but I thought at least for this first week, I want to go through and just set up my days. And I have been trying to break things out a little bit more. So what I was doing was having a to-do list that went down almost the whole page. So I'm trying to give myself a limit that there's maybe 10 to-dos, but then I will do a separate section that's for phone calls, a separate one that's for emails, because that's what ends up filling up my to-do list is certain things that need to be done either at my desk or when I have a quiet moment to make phone calls. And it's nice that they're pulled out separately and I can just sit down and focus on that, because I have realized in this whole program, the STEP program, that I really have problems with focusing and keeping myself on task. And so I'm trying all these little tricks just to help with that. And then sometimes I do, use this last bit of the page for some journaling, but I've sort of let that go because it was starting to feel like homework. I wasn't looking forward to doing it. I was feeling like I had to do every day. And so if I didn't do it, then I would make myself catch it up. But then I was using up any time that I had doing catch up and not planning forward. So then I was more behind and more scattered. So I'm trying to find a happy medium. I like having a place to journal if I want to and I have the time, but I've let go of that and just decided I need to use it for planning first and then see what's available for time and energy and make sure that the planning is the top priority, because I just have a lot of things I'm keeping up with and plates spinning, however you want to phrase it, and I need to make sure I'm getting those done. So anyway, moving forward, then there's my Thursday and my Friday and my Saturday and my weekly review, and I haven't worked out yet what that's going to be. In the STEP program, she mentions some things, some of it's stuff like going through your project lists and your next actions list and making sure you're just going through, checking it off, seeing what needs to be moved forward, seeing what needs to be removed, seeing if there's something you can delegate. So I may come up with some kind of a checklist based on her suggestions, or I might go back to doing what I used to do, which was just to have 3 prompts that were what went well or what worked, what did not work, and then for next week. And sometimes for next week in that section I would put, a note to myself or a reminder about whatever, more, emotional, personal growth kind of things. Or I would just put a list of tasks or a list of events that I didn't want to forget to plan for and kind of just use it that way. So who knows? I will see. But I haven't gone any farther forward than that. And I don't know, I may try to go through like today, maybe this is Labor Day weekend. I'm actually filming this on the 1st, on Sunday the 1st. So I may try to go through and set up the next week as well, because like I mentioned, if it's not there, it's harder for me to find the time to go do it. Whereas if I just do it and lay it all out, then I know I have those days available. I can jot down random to-do things as they come up. Anyway, just always working on trying to make it better, right? So that is my September layout. Hope that was helpful for you. If you're trying to figure out this whole bullet journaling thing, my biggest advice is just keep it simple. All the pretty things that other people do may or may not work for you, so just try them a little bit at a time here and there. Don't get too caught up in trying to recreate everybody's systems and then they don't work for you. And that's something I'm having to relearn myself and remind myself about, is just keeping it to what is working for me, what I know I need, and not trying to just take on everybody else's creative idea because it looks pretty. So this right now is what's working. So here we are. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. And I hope you have a great rest of your September and it's off to a good start. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button down below. I know a lot of people have been wondering, where have I been? What have I been doing? And why aren't there some videos? So they will be coming soon. I actually took on proofreading someone's memoir, and it turned out to be sort of a faster turnaround than I had originally expected. So I just finished that a few days ago. So now that's done. I also picked up a side job I didn't have on the calendar or foresee coming, but I'm enjoying it and I'm glad I'm doing it. So I'm still planning on doing quite a bit of filming in September and having some new series out. I know my basement is still needing to be worked on, and I have a few other little projects, so they will be coming. Thank you for your patience and hanging in there with me, and I hope you're off to a great start and enjoying a relaxing weekend. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.